Amy Fleming might be getting the biggest surprise of her life in Heartland Season 20. Before we find out what really happens, let's go back and remember exactly where the story left off. Because what happened at the end of Season 19 is the reason everyone is talking about a baby right now. Season 19 of Heartland ended with one of the biggest moments in the whole show. The final episode was called Forgiveness, and it left fans with a question that nobody could stop thinking about. Nathan got down on one knee and asked Amy to marry him. This was not just a normal proposal. It came at a point in the story where Amy's whole life was about to change in more ways than one. For years, fans have watched Amy grow from a young girl who could heel broken horses into a strong woman running her own life on the ranch. She has been through loss, love, and hard choices. But this proposal put her in a new kind of situation. Nathan is not just asking her to be his wife. He is also asking her to think about her future in a much bigger way. Does she stay at Heartland, the only home she has ever known? Does she leave and start a new life somewhere else with Nathan? Or is there a way she can do both without giving up the ranch that means everything to her family? This decision is not only about Amy. Her daughter Lindy is also part of this story. Whatever Amy chooses will change Lindy's life too. She will either keep growing up on the ranch surrounded by the people she has always known, or she will have to get used to a brand new home and a new kind of family life. This is what makes the ending of Season 19 so powerful. It is not just a love story. It is a story about family, home, and what Amy is willing to give up or hold on to. The episode ended without giving fans a clear answer. Amy's face showed she was thinking hard about what to say, but the screen went dark before we could hear her reply. This is exactly the kind of ending that makes people talk, share their thoughts, and wait eagerly for the next season to begin. Now, with Season 20 confirmed to start on October 4, 2026, fans are connecting the dots. Some believe Amy's answer to Nathan will lead to a new chapter in her life that could include starting a family of her own. That is where the idea of a baby coming into the story begins to make sense to so many viewers, while fans are busy guessing what will happen. There are some real facts about Season 20 that are already out in the open, and these facts make the wait even more exciting. Heartland has officially been confirmed for a 20th season, which is a huge milestone for any television show. Very few shows manage to stay on air for 2 decades. And Heartland doing this shows just how much people still love this story about family, horses, and life on the ranch. The new season is set to premiere on October 4, 2026, and it will air on CBC and CBC Gem, just like it always has. Filming for this season took place in Calgary, Alberta, starting in May and running through the end of August. The show has always been filmed in real towns like High River and Millerville, which have stood in for the fictional town of Hudson since the very first season back in 2007. This attention to real locations is one of the reasons the show feels so warm and honest to longtime fans. The people behind the camera are mostly familiar names too. Writers who have shaped the story for years are returning once again, and the same trusted directors are back to guide the new episodes. This kind of consistency behind the scenes often means the show will keep the same emotional feel that fans have grown to love. Even as new storylines begin to unfold, CBC has shared an official description for this season, and it talks about the Fleming and Bartlett family facing both the joys and the hardships of ranch life while finding new ways to come together. This description is kept fairly open on purpose, which leaves a lot of room for fan theories to grow. But there is one storyline that everyone already knows is coming. Season 19 ended with Nathan's proposal to Amy, and that unanswered question is expected to be one of the very first things addressed when Season 20 begins. While nothing has been said yet about a baby, the facts we do have set the stage perfectly for a story that could go in that exact direction. A milestone season, a life-changing proposal, and a family ready for a new chapter all point towards something big happening early in these new episodes. Once people started putting the pieces together, the baby theory spread fast, and honestly, it is not hard to see why so many viewers believe this could be the direction Season 20 takes. Heartland has always told its story in a certain way. Big life changes rarely happen out of nowhere on this show. They build slowly, season after season, until they lead to something meaningful. A proposal from Nathan followed by a milestone 20th season feels like exactly the kind of setup the writers would use before introducing a new baby into Amy's life. Think about Amy's own story for a moment. She grew up on this ranch, raised by a family that welcomed anyone in need of healing, whether that was a horse or a person. Now imagine that same story repeating itself in a new way. If Amy says yes to Nathan and chooses to build a bigger family, it would mirror the way her own childhood shaped who she became. Many longtime viewers see this as the kind of full-circle moment that Heartland loves to create for its characters. There is also Lindy to think about. She has grown up watching her mother handle heartbreak, hard choices, and life on the ranch. If a new baby comes into the picture, it would not just affect Amy and Nathan. It would change Lindy's entire world too, giving her a sibling and a new kind of family life that she has never experienced before. Fans believe the writers may use this as a way to show how the next generation continues the Heartland story, much like Amy once continued the story of her own mother. Some fans have also pointed to small hints from cast interviews leading up to filming. While nothing has been confirmed directly, a few comments about this season feeling like a turning point for Amy have caught attention online. People have taken these words and connected them to the idea that Amy's life is about to shift in a very personal and permanent way. None of this is confirmed by the show itself, and it is important to remember that. But when you put together the proposal, the milestone season, the family-focused story CBC has already teased, and small hints from the people involved, it becomes easy to understand why so many fans are convinced a baby storyline is coming very soon. While the baby theory is getting most of the attention, it is far from the only thing happening in season 20 that fans should keep an eye on. Georgie's story looks like it could take a major turn this season. There have been talks about her possibly moving to Austria, which would be a huge shift for her character. Georgie has always been someone who chases her dreams even when it means stepping away from the ranch for a while. So if this move happens, it could open up a whole new chapter for her. One that takes her far from Hudson and puts her on a completely different path than there is the ranch itself. Being a milestone 20th season, there is a good chance the show will bring back some of the pressure and struggle that has always been part of Heartland's story. Running a ranch has never been easy in this show, and money problems, unexpected setbacks, or tough decisions about the land could easily become part of this season's story. A 20th season often comes with bigger stakes, so it would not be surprising if the writers decided to test the family's strength in new ways. Reminding viewers why Heartland has always been about more than just horses, other longtime characters may also see meaningful changes this season. Since the same writers and directors are returning, there is a strong chance that ongoing relationships, family tensions, and personal growth for characters like Jack, Tim, and other Bartlett-Fleming family members will continue to develop in ways that feel true to their journeys so far. Even side characters who have been quietly building their own stories over the past few seasons could finally get their moment to shine. At the end of the day, Season 20 seems to be shaping up as a season full of big personal decisions, not just for Amy, but for almost everyone connected to the ranch. Whether or not the baby theory turns out to be true, one thing is clear. This season is being built around change, growth, and the kind of emotional moments that have kept fans coming back for 20 years. We will not know the full truth until October 4th, 2026, when Season 20 finally premieres. Until then, all we can do is watch the clues, share our own theories, and get ready for what might be one of the biggest seasons in Heartland history. If you have your own idea about what is coming, drop it in the comments, because this is exactly the kind of story fans love to talk about together. So where does all of this leave us as we count down the days to Season 20? Right now, everything about the baby storyline is still just a theory built from clues, patterns, and a little bit of hope from longtime fans. Nothing has been confirmed by the show, and it is always worth remembering that Heartland loves to surprise its audience in ways nobody expects. The writers have a long history of taking a story in a direction that feels both fresh and true to the characters we have followed for years. So even if the baby theory does not come true exactly the way fans imagine, something equally meaningful is almost guaranteed to happen. What makes this moment in the show so special is that it lines up with a huge milestone. 20 seasons is not something many shows ever reach, and the fact that Heartland has done this while still keeping fans emotionally invested says a lot about the story being told. Amy's decision about Nathan's proposal, Georgie's possible move, and the pressures facing the ranch all show that this season is being built around real change, not just small moments to fill time. Every storyline we have talked about points toward a season that could shape the next chapter of this family's life in a lasting way until October 4th, 2026. All any of us can do is watch the small hints, rewatch the season 19 finale, and enjoy putting the pieces together. That is part of what makes being a Heartland fan so much fun. The show gives just enough information to keep people talking, guessing, and forming their own theories long before the truth is revealed. If you have been following this story for years, or even if you are newer to the show, now is the perfect time to share your own thoughts. Do you think Amy is about to become a mother again, or do you believe the show has something completely different planned for her future? Either way, season 20 is shaping up to be one of the most talked about seasons in Heartland history, and the only way to know for sure what happens is to be there when it finally airs. Make sure you are ready, because the wait is almost over, and this could be the start of one of the biggest chapters this family has ever faced.